Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Switch Show. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Returning listeners, you know the drill. Welcome back. So before we get started, please like. I say like it's on YouTube. Please leave us a rating if you haven't already. Follow us. Share this podcast, this episode, the entire podcast, so that more people can more people can see what we're doing, more people can be a part of this beautiful growing community on this side of the internet. And yeah, let's get into it. So this is a birthday episode. I don't think I've ever posted an episode on my birthday. I don't think an episode has fallen on my birthday. I don't think so. I think the closest I've come to was when I turned 20, and it was the 9th of March. If I remember correctly, it was the 9th of March, and I think that was a Thursday. But since I changed my schedule to Tuesdays, my birthday so happens to fall on a Tuesday, which is a posting day. So yeah, this is my birthday gift to you guys. For the people who listen to it on Tuesday, if you listen to it any other day, you can just say, "Oh, happy birthday, happy belated happy birthday" to him. But yeah, birthdays are a time of reflection for me. They are a time for me to sit down, think about what happened in the past year, think about what happened in the year before the past year, so 2 years before. Think about where I am now, the age that I've turned, and what I want to do, what is a desired outcome over the next 365, 366 days. I so happen to be turning 22, which is a big deal for me. you know when I started this podcast 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, I was 17. And to think that what I started at 17, it's so crazy when I look at it. When I actually look at it, it is crazy. That's crazy. In that time, I got into the university. I graduated with a degree in computer science. I have sought for jobs, try to get myself into the job economy or the job market. I have tinkered. I have wrestled with my thoughts. I have I would have said I have wrestled with God, but I haven't dared to wrestle with God just like Jacob did. I have doubted myself. I have cried. I have laughed. I have been heartbroken, not by a romantic relationship, not from a romantic relationship, but heartbroken at, you know, myself, or heartbroken with myself, disappointed is the word. I started something, and because it wasn't giving me a desired outcome, I bolted. There are multiple things, and turning 22, I have to be honest, is the scariest I've ever been. Before recording this episode, I was talking to a friend some I think a week ago. So at the time of the recording is like a week. So when this comes out, it'll be like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or thereabout. And I told her that I have never been this scared to turn a new age. And someone might hear it and go, "Oh, what are you so afraid of?" Some people might be worried, like, "Oh, why are you afraid? You're supposed to be excited." And I'm not always chip. Do they say chipper? I don't know what that expression is, but I'm not always jolly about birthdays. You know, I haven't always been the jolliest kid about birthdays. Birthdays are don't get me wrong, I absolutely love birthdays. I prefer to celebrate people than celebrate myself. The last time I celebrated my birthday or did anything remotely close to a celebration was when I turned 18. Since then, not really. And so, in the spirit of being open and transparent with this episode, when I was about to turn 20, I sat down with myself. I was so happy. I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm no longer a teenager." I wanted to explode my WhatsApp status with with baby pictures and post pictures of growth and say, "Oh, the before, after, antes y después." You know, for some reason, the Lord just spoke to me and said, "Pray." And I have never done it. I have never done it in my life. All the times I was a kid, I would always sleep and wake up on my birthday. So it's Nonye. I'm like, happy birthday. And then I smile, I'm like, thank you. My dad wakes me up, takes me to the bathroom. I'm still sleepy, falling, and he's bathing me. Says birthday boy as I'm dressing for school. And I'm so happy. My dad comes back from work, probably with cake. Maybe not on that day, maybe he comes back another day with cake. And I'm just so happy. My siblings are screaming happy birthday. Aunties come around and screaming happy birthday. Mommy screaming happy birthday. It was always just so beautiful. Always just so beautiful. I think about all the times I would wake up on my birthday as a kid, and how much joy would fill my heart, But coming to 22, a few months before we even got to March, I saw in my notes where there was an instruction that was given to me by God, So before I get to that, so when I was turning 20 and the Lord said, pray, I went to pray, and He showed me this mighty, marvelous thing that is supposed to happen in the future. And it's hinged on my obedience. It's hinged on my willingness to actually want to go through with it. It's hinged on just me being available to do it, being ready. It takes a lot to get ready to take on a task like that. It takes a lot to get ready. And will I say I am ready? Absolutely not. Will I say that I'm equipping myself with knowledge that will help me? Yes, I am. Will I say that I'm scared of it? Yes, I am scared. Will I say that I am bothered that it might not come to pass? Yes, I can't lie. But I prayed. And if there's anything that anyone around me knows, is that I have big dreams. And I'm not talking about big dreams for myself, big dreams for other people. If anyone has ever communicated their dreams to me, trust me, I would dream the dream for you. If you've told me, oh bro, I want to travel to multiple countries and establish businesses, my brain goes off immediately on an imaginative spiral. I'm thinking, okay, you establish this business in Asia, you establish 14 in Europe, and I just get so much joy thinking about it when it comes to other people. And I do it for myself as well. And I think when I have these big dreams, say big, hairy, audacious goals, yeah. Well, when I think about crazy things, I look at where, Honestly, I look at where I am, and I remember a quote, a motivational quote where someone said, "Don't let your background put your back to the ground." Just an amazing play on words, and has an intent to motivate or something. It's funny to me. Anyway, it's more comical than motivational to me because I like play on words, you know. So yeah, when the Lord told me pray, and I see this crazy thing that my mind hadn't even thought about or conceived until that point. I look at it, I say, oh my goodness, what if I can't do this? Now I'm sparing you the details because I don't want to communicate anything premature for now. I don't want to communicate anything premature. And so after then the Lord says, make it a habit. And I'm saying this to you guys so that you can do it if it's something you think it's worth copying or emulating. Take an hour, 2 hours, three, four if you want, before midnight on your birthday and just pray. I know some people are tied up with work. They are, yeah, I know some people are tied up with work. They might not necessarily have the time to, say, pray from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. They might not have that time. But the beautiful thing is, it doesn't really have to be praying into your birthday. It could be praying on the day of it could be praying on that day. It could be praying when you wake up. It could be, anything. And the reason I will say is it shapes your mind for that year coming. It opens you up to learn of God. Everything that God would want to have you learn, you learn it. And I will say there are some deep, deep lessons that I have learned in my 21st year. I can't wait to share them. Some of them are going to be podcast episodes. I can't share all of them in this episode, just like I did in my 20th. That was in 2023, 2 years ago. I can't share everything here, but there's some things I learned, and I'm still in the process of learning. But one of the things I would say is, don't do things because of people. Don't do this. And that is context specific. When I say don't do it because of people, I don't mean don't do it with people. Don't do it with having nobody in mind. When you do things, you're doing it in service. At least that's how I like to believe it. You're doing it in service. You're making a movie, you're telling a story through a book, you are initiating political reforms, you are starting up non-profits. Whatever it is you're doing, you're a pastor, you're a musician, you are an architect, you are a banker, you are a financial advisor, you're a secret service agent, you are a civil servant. Whatever it is you're doing, see it as service to people. That you're doing this so that people's lives, your life, the lives of the people around you, your family, and the lives of people you haven't even met can just be better. And that is good. But when I say don't do things because of people, I mean don't do it to please people. Don't try to live up to someone else's expectation of you. I think is one of the biggest mistakes I made in my 21st year, trying to live up of people's expectations of me, and I made silly mistakes. I made decisions. I ran blindly into some decisions that I'm looking at, and I've said, I shouldn't have made that decision. It's not regret, but I just shouldn't have made it. I shouldn't have. But oh well, we learn. And I say this particularly when you're making decisions with people that are close to you, loved ones. as we like to call them. And don't make hasty decisions because you love them. You do them a disservice. You do yourself and them a disservice when you can't meet up to whatever it is they've set. So don't make hasty decisions out of desperation, or don't make hasty decisions out of any kind of desperation. Desperation almost always leads to disappointment. In fact, it always leads to disappointment. Except you're desperate for Jesus, that for that you will not be disappointed. So don't make any decision hastily, especially when it comes to loved ones, especially, and emphasis in big, bold, black, glowing letters, especially when it comes to loved ones. Don't make any hasty decision. It could cost you. It could cost you your time, your energy, your mind. And I've learned it so that you don't have to. I'm telling you, decide properly. Make an informed decision. Don't say, it's someone I know, let me just do it. Don't try it. You might be disappointed. And then when you don't meet up to their expectations, their idea or their outlook of you changes. It just shifts. Don't do it. Please, don't do it. And so like I said before, I was scared. I told my friend I was scared. I'm really scared going into 22. I really don't know. She said, talk to God. Speak with your mentor, pray about it. If you feel like you know what to do and you're sure that you know what to do, just ask God. He showed you what to do. He should be the one to tell you how to do it. That's solid. And while I was thinking about all of this, I remember listening to a sermon where it says Joseph knew what he was going to be. Was going to be a star among his siblings and the star in his family. He didn't know how it was going to go. He didn't know what the end was. Let's say he knew what the end was. Maybe not in details like, Prime Minister of Egypt. He knew what the end was. But he did not know what that process was going to be like. He did not know that he was going to be sold to Ishmaelites, to merchants that were trading people, and then sold into work to an Egyptian high-ranking officer, Potiphar. He didn't know he was going to be framed for sexual assault and put in prison. He didn't know that he was going to have to interpret a dream and dreams in prison that will lead to his release, and then interpreting a dream for the pharaoh that will lead to him becoming a high-ranking official. Not just any high-ranking official, but second in command to Pharaoh, a governor, a prime minister in Egypt. He did not know all of that. But he was diligent. And I think that is what I'm going to take on for my 22nd year. Diligence. I'm going to learn whatever it is I need to do to master my craft. Whatever it is I need to do I just have to learn. Because people who do great things are people who learned greatly, or who learned greatly. And so I'm going to learn greatness, and then I'm going to do great things. Thank you for listening to my birthday episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. And Maliseh Chinonye, don't be afraid. You're going to listen to this in a couple years, and going to listen to it in a couple years from now, and you're going to smile because you're going to be doing so much more better than you've ever done. You're going to be better than you've ever been. Proud of you, bruv. Happy birthday. And to anyone out there This could be your birthday episode. I mean, you could listen to this anytime it's your birthday and just think, use it as a compass for reflection. Use it as a, I don't know, it could be anything. But I'm proud of you. The work you're putting in is not in vain. The Lord sees you. We all see you very soon. We all are gonna see you. There's no pride in being obscure, but know that your obscurity is in preparation for the limelight. So don't try to force yourself out of obscurity. Similarly, don't settle for obscurity. Let the Lord lead you, let the Lord guide you. And I'm saying to myself as well. And everything beautiful and everything good that comes from the Lord, He will give. Not without thorns, not without the challenges, not without the obstacles, not without the pain. But know that His thoughts are good. Always good and only good. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely one. Bye bye.